Hi guys, so I thought I'd finally get around to finishing off my PlayStation collection videos. So as you've probably seen before, I've uploaded PlayStation 1, 2, 3 and 4, which is obviously the console side of the PlayStation family. And today we're going to be doing the PSP, and then tomorrow we're going to be doing the PS Vita, which are obviously the handheld side. Cool little collections. As you can see, I'm heavily taking a nod from Hyper Trigger X collection videos, as his production values are spot on, and I really love how he's done his videos. So with my collection, I've only really been picking stuff up from the car boots really. A couple of things from CEX for some of the games I really want to play, 'cause as I said before in certain videos, I really get more time to play my handheld games. So but I started off with the Vita and then I went back with the PSP. I actually got quite a few of these games, maybe about 20 games, before I actually got a PSP, because I didn't want to spend too much money on a PSP. I kept seeing them for between 10 and 15 quid, and I didn't really want to spend that much money. Like I say, I'm a bit tight sometimes. So I finally got around to getting one, which was the pink PSP. And in fact, as soon as I got this, I actually picked up two other Vita PSPs and probably another one. And the trading value is pretty good, but I really like the pink one, so I've kept that one for myself. So yeah, that's what I've got to play the games on. And without further ado, since we're doing a bit of copyright theft, let's get to the collection. So I'm not too sure how we're going to do this. There's no rhyme or reason. I've not actually alphabetized any of these. So first up, with no reason at all, we've got a platinum version of Ratchet and Clank Size Matter. So obviously this would have been in a car boot or something like that I would have got it from. Would eventually like to update this. I think this is the only platinum game I've got. So let's put that there. Next up, we have got the Undead Knights. So I'm not too sure what this is. I think this is some kind of like hack and slash kind of game. Probably a little bit in the vein of the Samurai Warriors, maybe, by the look of it, or maybe just a general hack and slash. It looks really good. This actually looks like one I can't wait to play, really. One I got from Sheffield Movies and Games. I actually overpaid for this. Sometimes when you go to one of these game stores, you actually get a bit excited and sometimes want to help them out a little bit. So I think I paid about 8-9 quid, which at the time I think it was going for about 5 at CX. But as I say, it's all complete. Conditions a little bit ropey at the bottom, as you can see there, but a great little game to have in your collection. It's like fantastic on the Dreamcast, one of my favorites. And you can't have a collection video without having a pinball game, and these are actually really good. The Williams tables. Looks like there's a manual missing from this one. Thought it was a little bit light, but yeah, it's got a few of the Williams pinballs on there, so that you can actually get this on the PS3 and the 360 as well. Now this one, I was watching Ash Blue 81 before you, something like that. One of his collection videos, and I saw this on there, and it looks like an interesting platformer type game. And I think it was like 4 quid, so I went out straight away and get it. That was Fading Shadows. So not only do PSP have platinums, but they also have these strange looking boxes, which are the PSP Essentials. To be honest, I think I prefer the platinums than the PSP Essentials. So I think these are for only the ones that are on PlayStation. I'm not too sure. But yeah, Ape Escape P. I'm not too sure how you're supposed to play this with only one thumbstick, but never mind. I've actually not got around to playing that one. Another one that I keep seeing everywhere I go, Free Running. So yeah, this is quite a cool, interesting looking game. I think it's actually on the PlayStation 2 as well. But yeah, next up we have got, well, this is an essential, isn't it, really? Crash of the Titans. I think it's on every system, pretty much. But yeah, pretty cool to have in the collection. I've still not got around to playing any of them. Next up again, this is a PlayStation 2 port of PSP port of a PlayStation 2 game, Guitar Man Lives. I got this from Doncaster Gaming Market. Oh, yep, so production values are not as good as Dylan's over here. Next up we got 300. The reason why I got this game is actually because I got 300 subs on Instagram last year or something, and to celebrate it I thought I'd get a game with 300 in the title to take a picture of, and that's the reason why this is in my collection. Next up we've got Warhammer Ghost Squad, no not Ghost Squad, Squad Command. No manual. Again, as I say, this would have been 50p from a market. I like tactical kind of games, so, and I kind of love the Warhammer universe. Very interests me a lot. Next up we've got Loco Roco. This seems to be a PSP Essential. I think there's a second one as well. And I know it's been ported over to PlayStation 4. I did play the PlayStation 4 one. I don't fully get it, but I think it actually works better because I think you actually do this with the Vita to actually control it a little bit better. Next up, we have got another game that started, I think this started on the PSP and then actually got a port onto the PS2, which seems to be quite a few games like that. A bit of tape on there, get rid of that. But yeah, this looks like quite a cool puzzle platform. I've heard quite a lot of good things about this, so eventually I will get around to playing it. Next up, we've got this. Let's get this off. Let's get this, get the LCX crap off. Not doing very well here. Let's do that later. But every extend extra from the makers of Lumines, or however you say that. So you know with this is some kind of puzzle, music, rhythm kind of mashup, I'd imagine. I've heard a lot of good things again about this. I need to play that soon. You'll probably hear that quite a lot. Tony Hawk's Underground 2 remix. I think the viewpoint on this is very different to a normal Tony Hawk, so that would be quite cool to play eventually. This is the American one. I got it from the car boot. You actually get quite a lot of American games at the car boot, which is quite surprising really. Next up, Medieval Resurrection. There's no cartridge in there because it's I was playing it not too long ago, so I need to get that cart and put it back actually. Yeah, it's Resurrection like that because it's actually a French copy, but it does play in English because I have actually played it. I've never played the original Medieval, and that is just a remake of it onto the PSP. Next up, we've got Driver 76. Again, I think this is a PlayStation 1 port onto the PSP. It actually might have been just a PSP game, but yeah, quite good. I did like the Driver games originally. Wow, now this is really good. This is a really good original God of War game. I think there is, like, if you get them PlayStation 3 multi-pack games, some of them are actually being ported onto the PlayStation 3 to play. But yeah, definitely recommend this. It really shows the power that the PSP had. Now this is another great game, Prinny. I'm just hoping it had the disc in there because I have been playing this. This is brilliant. This is basically, if you ever played Disgaea on any system, pretty much any PlayStation system, you'll know it. That's a strategy game. However, this is a platformer game. You have 1,000 lives to get to the end. So the lives are actually 1,000 Prinnies, which are basically the bad guys that were turned into, what is it, into hell sort of thing. So when bad guys go to hell, they turn into these Prinnies, which are then servants, and then these servants need to get to the end of all these stages for whatever reason. I can't remember, but yeah, it's lots of humor in this, and it gets very hard. It gets very hard indeed. In fact, I've not even completed it. Untold Legends looks interesting. I think I must have got this from a charity shop for 99p. No manual, as for some reason a lot of games don't have. Next up, a game that you seem to have, Vice City Stories. I think this is a port of a PlayStation 2 game. I'm not really up on the Grand Theft Auto games, to be honest. Field Commander, I've heard a lot of good things about this actually. This is another strategy game, so sort of a bit like the Advanced Wars kind of games, but obviously for the PSP. Another American game here. Someone sent me this. I don't think we've got this in PAL territories. I know the sequel to this, Shepherd's Crossing 2 on the DS in America is very flipping expensive. It's like about £100 plus. This is like nothing. So I imagine this is some kind of farming sim that seems to be quite popular. Someone, as I say, someone gave me that one. Another one I got from the Carbu for about 50p, which I was absolutely buzzing to get. It was one that was like, usually just has like sellers that just sell dirt, basically. They just bring stuff that gets rained on and rained on and rained on and then brings it again. That kind of a market. We've all been there. But yeah, got this for about 50p, maybe £1, no more than that. Brilliant game, actually. It's really good. I think this is just basically a remake of Super Ghouls and Ghosts on the Super Nintendo, but it's a bit 3D, which kind of lets it down a bit, but it's still good. Burnout Legends, if you like Burnout, this is a great version of it. Oh, it's got some receipts in here. So let's see, what do people pay for this? £5 for Tiger Woods, £5 for Burnout Legends. So no one's overspent. And how long ago was that? That was from Liverpool. Blockbuster in Liverpool in 2009. So I love little things like that. Bits of history, isn't it, really? Star Wars Battlefront Renegade Squadron. Now, I don't really know much about this. I do believe this is a PSP game. A PSP only game. Obviously, it's a PSP game. I've got it in my hands. Next up, we have got Beats, Flow, and Siphon Filter Combat Ops. So I believe these were download-only games, maybe, on the PlayStation Network, which were then put onto a multi-disc, which is pretty cool. Very cheap as well. With any PlayStation releases, Ridge Racer has to be on the launch title. So this is a launch title game, I'm pretty certain, at least anyway. Number 2 on the... Can we see there? Don't think it's focusing, is it? No, it's not focusing. But yeah, it says number 2 there. So that's Ridge Racer. Supposedly pretty good. Little Big Planet. Fantastic game, this. Fantastic. If I can get back in. I don't like the PlayStation 3 one, but this is pretty cool. So that one's all right. I've not really put too much time into it. However, I have put quite a lot of time into this, which is a 30-minute hero. The first campaign is the best, where you got 30 seconds to do a certain amount of tasks. In fact, there's Medieval there. Let's take that out. Let's get that out there while I remember. So, yeah, fantastic game. Definitely worth getting. I think it's probably only about a tenner as well, so definitely worth getting. Another game that I probably would have got from the Car Boot, Frantics. Looks like a puzzle-style game. Yeah, interesting. Wow, this one is absolutely great. Street Fighter Alpha 3 Max. In fact, I actually had the American one first, and then I eventually got this from a charity shop for £2.50. Well worth it in my eyes. Definitely. Love a bit of Street Fighter. And it plays quite good on the PSP. The Simpsons game seems to be on every system going. I still really want to play that on the Xbox 360. For some reason, that took me so long to get the 360 version. Next up, Wipeout Pure. Now, this is originally a PSP game, and then it got ported over to the PlayStation 2. And if you get the PlayStation 2 version, it's actually quite a hard one to get. Or at least it's starting to get a bit valuable anyway. Another American one I got from the charity shop from the Carbu, Final Fantasy Tactics. What do we think of that cover? Is it better than the English one where it's just white? I don't know. There is something about that simplicity, isn't there, really? But yeah, great one to get. In fact, it's a really good game as well. I need to clean these up as well. Siphon Filter. It's got virtual tennis in it. In fact, I think that is actually wrong completely. I think I just got that for really cheap. Monster Hunter Freedom. These Monster Hunter games are okay, but I'm not a big fan of them. Last level games, where's that? Doesn't say. Doesn't say, but this definitely came from the charity shop. Not charity shop, Carbu, keep saying that. But yeah, these games are really good. Another fantastic game. I've not actually played this one yet, but I've played quite a few of the Count Mario games. So you basically a ball, you roll up and you try and swallow up everything on the level until you get bigger and bigger, and you can start swallowing up bigger and bigger items. Really good, so quirky. I love that series. I just really do. I've not got much battery left. Metal Gear Acid, including the limited edition card book. Limited edition card book, nice one. Not too sure what that really means. I've never really played this game. It's a little bit, I don't really know what this is. It's sort of like a puzzle style Metal Gear, I think. Not too sure. Mod Nation Racers, another great little racing game. It's actually on the PlayStation. Oh, should have covered that up. Someone's going to steal my code. Yeah, it's also on the PlayStation 3 as well. So, cool little game to have. This was from my car booty man, as people know that I've got someone who gets me some really good deals. Paid about 20 quid for this, but as you can see, this is sealed and it's an American copy. You can get this over in England. It's sealed, but I actually have a download copy of this on my Vita, so I can still play it. It's not so bad. Worms, open warfare. Yeah, it's just Worms on the go. I suppose that's not a bad thing, is it really? I recently got this on my last pickups video, Final Fantasy 1. Yep, great game that's been updated. It looks kind of like it's got Super Nintendo graphics, even though originally it was an NES kind of game. Well, kind of game it was. Invisibles, this kind of takes the PlayStation camera, the PlayStation portable camera, and then kind of augments these little creatures to battle, sort of Pokemon styley, but in real world environments. So yeah, there is one on the PSP and then a better one obviously on the Vita. I don't think I've got that one. Another pinball game, as I say, can't beat pinball games. That's the Gottlieb version. More Star Wars. There was quite a lot of Star Wars games on the PSP. So yeah, cool to have. And we are on the final two. And we've got Sonic Rivals, which I know the disc fell out a second ago, no manual. What is this game? I don't really know, but I think it might be a racing game, to be honest. Yeah, cool. And the last one, probably the rarest one I've got, Gladiator, which I think it's some kind of brawler kind of game. Now, there is the one that's got the orange and the round dots and everything. That one does seem to be a lot more common than this one, but the one with the booby cover, not seen that. I didn't notice that before, honestly. That one seems to be quite a hard one to get. So it's got the manual and everything. The manual seems very strange, but it's there, and that completes the PlayStation Portable set that I have. Yeah, really starting to enjoy this system. There's so many games on the system that I really would like to get. Mainly RPGs. As I say, I really love RPGs for playing portably. I think that's the best way that you can play RPGs on the go, to be honest. But yeah, we've got Boy invading the pitch. So with that, we'll say goodbye. See you later, boy. Bye. He's not saying bye.